Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Hi everybody, welcome to the garage. I'm Jeremy Cordeaux. We'll have some dates for you later, but happy birthday, happy wedding anniversary if it's a day of celebration. Thank you for joining us in the Court of Public Opinion. This is interesting. Lisa Wilkinson in hysterics when she was told, or when she told 10 CEO that she would have to sell her multi-million-dollar home to cover her legal costs, as the eye-watering sum of her TV wardrobe is revealed. I'll read this to you quickly. Emails reveal, it came out in court, emails reveal Lisa Wilkinson almost hysterical when she told Channel 10's new CEO that she would have to sell her multi-million-dollar home if the network didn't cover her legal costs. The emails were released by the federal court this week amid Wilkinson's civil case against Network 10. She's suing the people who continue to employ her over a $700,000 bill that she racked up after hiring her own defense barrister for Bruce Lehrmann's defamation case. Wilkinson argued that she had to hire a top defamation barrister rather than use the network barrister because they, the network, might not have her best interests at heart and maybe would not defend her properly. The network claimed Wilkinson's defence was a duplication of its defence, so why do it twice? Yeah. Emails also reveal that Wilkinson she was on, I think it was $1 million a year. She had a $100,000 annual wardrobe allowance. How could you possibly spend $100,000 on clothes? She's only on for half an hour. Is it half an hour a week? She was certainly not on every night. It was only the Sunday night thing. No wonder Channel 10 is going broke, or has gone broke, I don't know. Anyway, what it says here is that the wardrobe allowance was then reduced to $40,000 after November 18, 2022, when she stepped down as a regular host. So my God, what does this say? It says that even after she no longer worked at the station was still paying her $40,000 clothing allowance and her $1 million salary, I gather. On June 7 last year, Miss McGilvray, the CEO of Network 10, said she called Wilkinson on a welfare check, noting that the TV host was very upset. The call took place 3 days after Wilkinson was shown in an unfavourable light in a 7 Network Spotlight special featuring an interview with Mr. Lehrmann. Miss McGarvey wrote, "I called Lisa and asked her how she was doing and that I understood it was a tough week. I was genuinely concerned for her. She was almost hysterical." But according to this email here, Wilkinson's legal bill, even at that particular point, amounted to only $20,000. More to come, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I don't pretend to be disinterested in this particular case because it was what caused my sacking, I gather. But gee whiz, this thing has rattled on and had ripples and effects and consequences all over the country. For how long is it now? Is it 3 years? With a he said, she said, he said, she said, he said, she said. God, I'm glad I didn't do law. This asbestos stuff, which we of course have lived with all our lives, a very popular building material, fibro cement, asbestos sheeting. We lived with it in blissful ignorance for many, many years. Despite what I thought was its complete eradication, it seems to be absolutely everywhere, particularly in Sydney. With this mulch, garden mulch, believe it or not, garden mulch. It was the mulch placed in schools and parks and gardens everywhere, hospitals, median strips, everywhere it seems. They're running around checking where the stuff might be. This amazes me. Somebody had to order this garden mulch, give an address to where it had to be delivered, and of course pay for it. There would be records. They would have to know the people who delivered it and provided the service. They would have to know where it is. And you go through your records and you see who you paid. You will know then who's responsible. Finding where it is wouldn't be difficult. You would be able to say, where did you deliver that garden mulch? And then you'd get them to go around to where they had made the deliveries and clean it up. Or else, I mean, it's not an uncommon thing in producing any product to have a recall. Now this is a recall on the grounds of public health. They say public health. But they've set up a task force, a little bureaucracy to do this. For God's sake, you ring up the company that's been delivering this, as you think it is. I don't know that it's dangerous, but you say that it is dangerous, even though it contains little tiny fragments apparently of bonded asbestos, not friable asbestos. You ring them up and you say, where did you deliver that product? We now demand that you go back and collect it. But what they're doing at great expense apparently is going around from school to school, from park to park, to hospital to hospital, to council, checking every garden bed. You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like an episode of Yes Minister. Or maybe maybe the Keystone Cops. Better. But the big question is why? Why would you put asbestos into garden mulch? A little detective work would fix this emergency in a couple of hours. Anyway, what they found was announced to be not a problem or a danger, which complicates this whole drama even further. We're always catastrophizing things, aren't we? But the big question remains, why was the asbestos in there in the first place? It certainly wouldn't be doing anything for the garden, would it? Origin Energy has just clocked up over $700 million. That's a 6-month profit. $700 million. This is on top of the announcement that I told you about last week. AGL, 400% jump in their profits. No wonder big business was supporting Albo's voice referendum. This is our kind of government. More money, 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 money. Yes. Maybe, Pete.
Yes.
Can you put that electric car satire thing?
Yes, we can put that in here.
Do you want to put that in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll put it in here.
We'll put it in here. Because this whole electric car thing is tied up with this whole catastrophizing of climate change and renewables and the blackouts in Victoria and how there is no capacity for the grid to cope with the demands that this revolution might make upon the grid. You know, it's just such a joke. Just have a look at this for a bit of fun. Now, with the state election looming in, did you enjoy that? I did. With the state election looming in Tasmania, a year early, by the way, March 21, I think. The last Liberal state in the country, by the way, if it loses, if the Libs lose, for the first time, it will be coast-to-coast Labor. At a time when all the signs are there that these guys, driven by ideology, have only concerns for climate change, renewables, Aboriginal anything, and woke political correctness. Unchecked, this could be a very dangerous time for this great country. This election could be a very good indicator for the Feds. The Conservative side of politics had better get their act together and realise that sitting on the fence is not going to cut it. Going to Albo's wedding ain't going to cut it. Labor light is not a winning option or formula. Anyway, we'll see. This is only me. I'm no guru or expert. Let me get this figure right. 170 million hours. We were talking about this around the dining room table on Friday's show. 170 million hours. That's how much time we spend on hold, on the phone, waiting. We value your call. Like hell they do. Like hell they do. I was trying to get Professor Joel Pearson on the program on Friday, and I have dealt with and had lots of involvement with Simon Schuster, the publishers, book publishers, over the years. I can't count the number of authors they've, dutifully trundled around to my various studios. And it's all about getting publicity for books, because somebody writes a very good book, and I believe Joel Pearson, Professor Pearson, wrote a very good book on intuition and how we can make better use of it. And my idea was, it's a good talking point, we'll get him on the show, live streaming, jeremycordeaux.com. Anyway, I rang Simon and Schuster. The young lady picks up the phone and says, yes, can I help you? Yes, my name is Jeremy Cordeaux. I'm looking to interview one of your authors. Oh, you'll have to send us an email. No, I won't. Just put me through to your publicity department. I can't do that. Why? No, everything is done by email. Well, I'm sorry, I don't do everything by email. Do you want Professor Pearson's book publicized and talked about on my program, or don't you? Just wait there for a minute, I'll see what I can do. She goes away and they play me that endless, crazy, stupid music, you know, designed to what? I don't know, pass the time, calm you down, what? Anyway, she came back and said, no, we only operate with, just send us an email. So I said, oh, all right, okay. It's against my better judgment, but I would like to talk to the professor. So I sent him an email at the address I was given by the girl on the board at Simon Schuster. That was on, I think, Tuesday of last week. I never got any response. But one day, further down the track, I'll have the opportunity to talk to Professor Pearson, and I will tell him how his publisher is helping to promote his book. He might be interested. You see, somebody at the switchboard or somebody at the reception desk is a vital cog in any business wheel. That person is your chief executive in charge of public opinion, of your image. They're not there to answer the phone and obstruct. They are there to facilitate, to accelerate, to help, simplify. The whole thing, I mean, I'm surprised any of these people are still in business, frankly. Don't forget Jim Elder, Fine Art Gallery in Melbourne Street, North Adelaide. Now he is looking for paintings for his big upcoming auctions, which will be March and April. Jim Elder's Fine Art Gallery. They're looking for entries, and to that end, when I asked him what sort of paintings he was looking for, he said Australian and international paintings. By that, I guess he means artists. Now, I wouldn't know, and maybe you wouldn't know either. This is the answer to that conundrum. Jim will organise a no-obligation appraisal. He knows more about art than anyone I have ever known. Kim Benithan was great as well. I really respected his knowledge of art. But Kim's not with us anymore. But Jim certainly is, Jim and Helen. He's looking for noted Australian and international artists. And if you have a painting, and it might be on the wall, might be that it's not one of your favourites, it might be in the attic, it might be something a great aunt left to you and you've never really liked it, but you know, it could be worth thousands and thousands of dollars. Jim's got people, buyers from all over the world who take part in his famous auctions. Sell it or keep it, but at least to find out how much it's worth, maybe that could be good. Elder's Beautiful Art Gallery is in 106 Melbourne Street, North Adelaide. They're open Monday to Friday, 10 till 5. And all you need to do is to call Jim on 8267 2869. I think I got that right. 8267 2869. Or Jim's mobile phone number is 0417 811 184. 0417 8111 84. Just give me a call, try it out. Jim Elder's wonderful art gallery. You'd love it. Go and visit him. He'll show you around. Let him know I sent you. Rumour of the week. A rumour of the week. Hard on the heels of what I was telling you about Lisa Wilkinson. Paramount, who own Channel 10, are looking to sell it. Now, if a big entertainment company like Paramount can't make 10 work, probably no one can. Mind you, they don't help the cause with programs like The Project, a woke ideology, only slightly less woke than the ABC. Trust me on this. Go woke, go broke. The other possibility is that they will just close it down, which would of course stop the bleeding, and that's probably what the Americans would like, because they're up, I believe, to selling the entire international organisation, and they don't want some nasty Australian problem lurking. But it's a damn shame. There are good people there, and I think it's a management problem. It's a management problem, I'll bet. It's all because maybe the Paramount business model is a kind of, how would I put it, pay for view arrangement. They think that this is the next big thing. And a free-to-air Channel 10 will just be there to funnel the people in. See, I don't think that's right. And it hasn't proven to be right. In time it might be right, but not here, not now. Channel 10, the third commercial network, has always struggled. Except for those great days when Ian Holmes and, Peter Skelton and Les Peard ran the joint in Sydney in the late 60s and 70s. I was there. It was a great place to work. Laugh In, Number 96, groundbreaking stuff. There was Bobby Lim's Sound of Music, loads of local production. It was my show, Blind Date, a lot of Grundy stuff, as well as all the mistakes they have made of late, you know, having the Adelaide News read from Sydney, for example. How stupid is that? Really? Endless silly promos. You can't promo your way out of a bad radio station or a bad radio television station or combo. There was a lot of cost cutting, but somehow not when it came to Lisa Wilkinson's wardrobe allowance. Anyway, there's a list a mile long. But apart from all of that, the government policy of introducing hundreds of different channels, you know, streaming, too much choice, too confusing, guaranteed failure. What did the Americans call it? I think it was something like MAD, M-A-D, mutually assured destruction. Rupert Murdoch, instead of persevering with pay for View, Sky, the Sky channel, Rupert Murdoch could buy Channel 10 and move it across, that is Sky, to mainstream, free to air. And it probably wouldn't cost him more than $1 to buy the whole kit and caboodle. But I doubt somehow that Rupert Murdoch will be coming to me for advice. Lachlan certainly didn't. Perhaps he should have. Anyway, am I out of time, Pete?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Some dates, and then I'll get out of your hair. Dates. Grab me glasses. February the 20th, happy birthday, Britain's 95-year-old Queen Elizabeth II. Tests positive for COVID-19 on this day in 2022. I wonder how she got that. I mean, you'd have thought that at her age, you'd have thought they'd have been incredibly careful. But no, this is the day she tested positive for COVID. John Glenn becomes the first American to orbit the Earth aboard Friendship 7. That was in 1962. That was the year I joined 2GB as an office boy. I do remember. 1944, Batman and Robin comics premiered in newspapers on this very day. Gale Gordon, his real name was Charles Thomas Aldrich, Jr., American actor and comedian, Our Miss Brooks, Dennis the Menace, The Lucy Show, Here's Lucy. Born in Los Angeles, California. He died in 1995. He was born this day in 1906. The first automobile aeroplane combination was tested in Santa Monica, California on this day in 1937. I don't think that ever got off the ground. But it is interesting to note that the Jetsons, did you ever see the Jetsons, Pete?
Yes. I wasn't a fan, but I did see it.
No, the Jetsons, yeah. Well, the Jetsons was set in the year 2024. And they had flying cars. Many a slip twixt the cup and the lip, as my old grandmother used to say. Earl Mountbatten of Burma, appointed as the last Viceroy of India to oversee the move to independence in 1947. He and Edwina. Edwina was quite a woman. If ever you get a chance to read her biography, better still, her autobiography. She was one wild lady. Sidney Poitier, the American actor, first black actor to win an Oscar for Best Actor. It was Lilies of the Field in '63. Then he went on to do To Sir with Love, and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. He was the director of Stir Crazy. a civil rights activist. He was also a diplomat in later years. He was born in Miami, Florida, on this day in 1927. Dick York, the American actor, Inherit the Wind, Bewitched, dies of emphysema at 63, 1992. He was gay, and Elizabeth Montgomery's husband, I can't think of his name. Was it Sidney Sheldon? I think it was Sidney Sheldon. Would never let his wife act with somebody who wasn't gay. He was very careful. Elizabeth Montgomery. And you can look that up somewhere, I'm sure. Comedian John Cleese, Monty Python, marries actress Connie Booth in 1968. American singer and actress Cher, 27, files for separation from husband, singer-songwriter Sonny Bono. Sonny, S-O-N-N-Y, yeah. Sonny, as in Sonny and Cher. He was 38, she was 27, 74 was the year. Gloria Vanderbilt, American fashion designer, artist, heiress, socialite, born in Manhattan. She died in 2019. She was born in 1924. I'll leave you with one more. A 4-inch lock of John Lennon's hair sells for $35,000 to a memorabilia collector at an auction in Dallas, Texas, on this day in 2016. Wow. I still don't get it. Anyway, thank you very much for being with us. I do appreciate your company and your support. I'm Jeremy Cordeaux. Peter Clayton and I will be back tomorrow. Believe in yourself, and thank you for viewing the Court of Public Opinion.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to AuscastNetwork.com for details.